One seems to be jammed up in the bomb rack. And I said, well, you guys got to get rid of that bomb. I'm not going to land this airplane with a live bomb in the rack. And I came down from altitude again. We were down to about 10 or 12,000 feet. And finally it broke and fell. I looked at my watch, right at 12 o'clock on a beautiful sunshiny day. It hit right in the middle of a little peaceful Austrian farm yard. And the buildings just took off in all directions. I come from a farm state. I know that farm people eat around noontime. And it bothered me that we had probably incinerated a young family there eating their noon meal, thinking they're safely out of the war zone. When I got back to the base that day, I was given a cable that my wife had just given birth to our first child, the first of 4 daughters. And I thought, gosh, this is terrible. We're celebrating the birth of a little child, and I probably kill somebody else's kids today. I was asked 40 years later, I was a guest professor at the University of Innsbruck in Austria, by a television reporter if I ever had any regrets about bombing beautiful cities like Vienna and Salzburg and Innsbruck and Munich and Berlin. I said, well, nobody likes war. We all know it's a destructive enterprise. But I thought Hitler was a madman. I thought the Nazis had to be stopped. And so the shorthand answer to your question is no. I don't regret my part in this war. And then I told this incident. I said, there is one thing that's bothered me all these years, 45 years, and I told him about blowing up that little farmyard. That night about midnight, an elderly Austrian farmer called the television set, and he said, please tell the American senator who was on television tonight that that was my farm that he hit. He said it was right at 12 o'clock, and he told where it was. We saw that bomber coming. We noticed bombers overhead, hundreds of them, but this was a lone bomber. We saw it coming, and I got my wife and 3 children out of the house. We hid in a deep ditch, and he said, I hated Adolf Hitler, so if bombing my farm ended the war 1 hour earlier, it's okay with me. So after everybody here that follows American politics knows that I haven't always agreed with the decisions our political leaders have made about where and when we send American troops into battle, but I've never had one day of regret about my service in World War II. I admire the soldiers from every war, and no one here has ever heard me criticize an American soldier in any conflict. And and listen, and the more controversial a war is, the more we have to rally around to help these veterans when they come home. I came home to the lift, the morale building experience of being treated as a hero. How much more do we need to provide generous veterans benefits for these boys that come back from wars that were not so popular. So I'm grateful to be here as one of you tonight. I want to thank Jerry Lips particularly. None of us would be here for this wonderful occasion without him and the previous meetings of this kind. It's a great honor, Jerry, to be here tonight with you. Thank you.